Hello, hello. Type in the chat so that I can make sure this is all working. Okay, we haven't actually done a stream in a while. I think it's been a few weeks since I've done a stream on my own channel. But make sure that's all working with the tactics board. All good. Chat is working as far as I'm aware. Working fine, mate, from RX. So yeah, let me just move this. Where are we? Oh, the Chelsea Ninja Gecko. By the way, you probably will be able to hear my dog barking. So apologies for that, but not much I can do. Matt Johnson says, yo, big up Reno, big up BMO says hello. Ivan, as always, in the stream. He's in the stream actually 20 minutes early with a really nice message. Excited for the stream as always. So happy to see you growing as the time goes. You deserve it. Keep doing your thing. Thank you very much, Ivan. Everything is going well on the channel right now. We're over 3K now. We are over 3K now on YouTube. The aim is still 5K by New Year. Yes, tough to reach, but we're gonna go for it. We're gonna try. Been waiting for this one from Waleed, and in today's stream, which like yesterday, if you haven't seen it already, we did do a video with sort of images and analysis from the Chelsea Newcastle game on Sunday because I was away over the weekend, so it took till yesterday to get it out. Then we're going to do this today, and then after the game today, I'm going to get a video out straight away of things we learned. So you can expect that in your sort of YouTube sub boxes by, let's say, 11 p.m., depending on how quickly I can get it done and uploaded. So yeah, all the support on that one would be huge. If everybody can drop a like as soon as that comes out, give it a watch. Let me know what you guys think after today's game because I'm excited for it. But we are going to quickly speak about the Sunday's game. So if you guys have any questions about Sunday's game, if you haven't seen my video already, or if you have and there was any questions you have from the video regarding Sunday's game, we'll talk about that first because I have got the team from Sunday on screen right now. And I'll answer some questions in the chat, and then we'll move on to what I think the predicted lineup could be today, and we'll speak a little bit about today's game as well. If you haven't already, drop a like as well, as it really does help the channel. We're already on 10 likes very, very quickly into these streams. That would be great if we could try and hit nearly 50. Would be the aim. That's what I'm going to be starting to aim for. 100 likes per video, 50 likes per stream would be ideal. I feel like we lose today, but all eyes for Sunday. For me, obviously, I'd like to win, but meh, you get me. I do. I want to win. Obviously, like I feel like these cup competitions could be quite big for us. Of course, we've got the Conference League too, so that's a big thing to take into account. We've got that competition, the FA Cup, when that crops up too. But I mean, if we win tonight, we're in the quarterfinals already. There's still a few sort of favourable draws that you can get to this, and then you get to the semi-finals and you're in with a chance, right? And last year, getting to that final is, I know it's the Carabao Cup, but I think it just could be a really big booster, not just to Maresca, but also just to the entire fan base, a lot of young players that experienced their first final last season. Of course, some have played in them before, but some haven't. And the more that we build that sort of repetition of making finals, and even if we're not winning them, but hopefully after losing last year's, if we could then take that natural progression and win something this year, getting to the final and winning it, that's a very nice natural progression for everybody involved, the fans, the players, etc. So yeah, I would love for us to win tonight. All eyes on tonight for me, and then on to Sunday, because we're going to have a lot of content for that to get out between now and Sunday, because tomorrow I'm dropping my Amorim video, which will be how United could set up under Amorim. Then I'm going to rewatch Man United's game against Leicester, which is tonight at the same time as we play. I'm going to rewatch that, ready for Friday's video, where I'm going to analyse that game to see how Chelsea may have to set up. And that way, you'll have Amorim set up, and Friday, you'll have Ruud van Nistelrooy set up. So that gives you a good idea on Sunday of two ways that Manchester United could set up against Chelsea. So going to be working around the clock to make sure that we get all those videos out before Sunday so that everybody has a good idea what to expect going into the weekend, because that is the aim. That is the aim of these tactical breakdowns. Where else are we? We was here. And now I think Felix balls out very well today, especially against Newcastle, who progressed the ball well. I'm low-key tired of Nkunku. Would like to see Guiu. No, I'm happy with Nkunku. Guillaume maybe comes off the bench as well, but I think we're going to be fairly strong today, at least off the bench. I don't think it will be. I still think we start very rotated, and this goes on to Davinci, who puts this as well. How rotated do you think Newcastle will be? And I guess that's you're on about Newcastle, but just to quickly touch on Chelsea, I do think we're going to see a very rotated side. Let's just get into the other side, because if you haven't seen my analysis of yesterday's video, and I will still answer questions if anyone has them, but I think Jorgensen's going to start in goal. I think Badiashile, Kukurea, and Tosin are probably going to start. I think where it gets a bit techie is whether Gusto starts. I would like Vega to start, but we'll leave it like that for now. I think Enzo definitely starts in place of Lavia. I think there's a good chance Casado doesn't start, in which case I think it would be Dewsbury Hall, but maybe in a little bit more of a sort of pushed up role. So it depends who inverts. Palmer probably not playing for Felix, and Kunku for Jackson. And then I think what we're going to see is Mudryk on the left and Sancho on the right. This would be my prediction. Yes, I think Kukurea starts because Gusto and James started at the weekend. I'll try and get back through a lot of these messages that we've seen. Want to see Sancho get a goal too. And you said Vega masterclass. That's from Callum McKenzie. I would love Vega to start. Like, ideally, we see something like this, right? But the problem with this would be Vega has to start at right back or Kukurea has to start at right back, which is why I'm not 100% sure Vega starts. I do have a feeling that we could either see Dizassi start and play as that right centre back going in from right back. Gusto could start because he did go off at the weekend. So maybe he starts and then goes off as a sub. Maybe, and if anybody's not going to start, I do think it'll be Vega. And then, yeah, I think Felix is in the Palmer role. I think a lot of this, and yeah, you've got Dizassi in for Gusto. So yeah, let's see what happens there. And you really want to see Sancho right wing, like in the Dortmund UCL run. I do think Sancho will be very good on the right. I still prefer him on the left, but I think in the way that we're playing, especially with Madueke and Neto, the wingers at the weekend, and probably enough to go into the weekend, both of them two against Man U, right? Because I don't think Sancho can play in that game anyway. So I would be expecting Madueke and Neto to start on Sunday, in which case I think Sancho starts on the right, Mudryk on the left. I'm really excited to see Mudryk again on that left-hand side. I think I'm happy with Mudryk's progression this season under Maresca, so I think it'd be very good to see how he does. Felix again, I like Felix and Kunku playing together because I think they've just got really good sort of synergy in terms of when one moves in, the other one can sort of spin out. I think they've got good movement in there. I think KDH can sort of do a bit of both, being that box to box, almost forming that 3-4-3 at 3-3-4 at times. So that's very good as well. I think the main thing today, that the main people I'm sort of looking at is I want Enzo to be really key. I want Mudryk and I'd say Felix, just because I always keep saying, for me, this is Felix's unit in terms of when Palmer and these creators are out the team, Jackson and all these players, the starting like attacking unit, right? For me, this is Felix's sort of unit of players that he's the guy. Like people are going to him for that almost that spark of magic. So I'm really excited to see him today, especially as well as Enzo. Like I say, I like Enzo in this deeper role, so I'm very excited to see him play there. Let me work my way back up just to see if we missed anything. If we win, the draw will be after all the games, right? Yes, I believe it is. So it'll be tonight because there is no games tomorrow. I think it's going to be a tough match against Newcastle for me. It depends on who we have on the bench. Yeah, and like I said, that's what I was getting at. I think even if we start very rotated, I don't think it'll be the same sort of scenario where we see Guiu, Tyreek George, because he actually played last night, and like these sort of players coming on. I think it will be Palmer on the bench, Casado on the bench, Jackson on the bench, Neto, Madueke, these players on the bench, ones that aren't sort of being managed minutes, but are part of that sort of first unit that we've been playing in. I think they'll be the ones to come off the bench tonight if needed. So yeah, it could be a bit different in that sense. Whereas like the Conference League, we've seen some sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, a specific word for the minutes that I'm trying to say, but like minutes have been dished out to those on the brink of the squad. There's a word I'm looking for, something of the squad, but I can't think what it is. Cuckoo right back. Yeah, I did think this possibly. Cuckoo could start right back, but then it would then sort of end up like this, right? Oh. Which could be okay, and it would be Vega inverting from that side. That could work. So yeah, that's another possibility. Sancho has been working back really well lately as well, so I'm not worried about that because that's something that some United fans were sort of banging the drum about. I'm not worried about that. Chelsea Bound said we're winning up the Chelsea, hopefully. What else? What do you think will be different in this match compared to the few days ago in terms of tactics, key to winning the game, creating chances, whereas defending transitions? Tough question to answer, really, Ivan, because it's been a few days and they're going to have gone away and realised that, again, if you haven't watched the video from the other day, they did really try to block off this area of the pitch. I wouldn't be surprised if they did it again, purely because they may feel like if Lavia and Casado aren't the two here, that Chelsea will struggle to penetrate these lines. The difference is Enzo's there, and if anything, he's probably the best at it out of everybody. So we will see if they sort of go for this again, where they try and block off the balls into these two, or whether they're a bit more sort of just passive with that and they press in more of a 4-2-3-1, but in which case you've then got an overload here when the striker pushes. It will be interesting to see how much they've changed. I'm actually really intrigued by it because it's tough to predict, because when something hasn't worked, you'd expect Eddie Howe to go away and come back with a plan that will nullify what didn't work, and in the same breath Maresca will probably be expecting that, so in which case he might make some tweaks himself. So it's a tough prediction to make, but you can only really go off of what you've seen so far. And again, the 4-1-4-1 is something that you see them do quite often aggressively like this, in which case you can then create this around that DM. And if he goes one way, you've got a spare man here. If he goes the other way, you've got a spare man on the other side. And that is really how Chelsea sort of occupied their build-up at the weekend. If Jorgensen starts, excited to see how he puts up against a good Premier League side. Yeah, that'd be nice to see, especially on the ball. Hoping Jorgensen man of the match and bench Sanchez. I really don't see that happening, but I'd love it for him to have a really good game. Either way, I don't think it will sort of change the what do you call it? The first choice right now, but it will be good to see him play well. Very happy about it. Yeah, Badiashiel's been really good. He was really good when he came on against Liverpool, and he was very good against Panathinaikos as well. So yeah, he's a must start for me again today. Colwell's been so good, and I would rather just rest Colwell for Man U anyway. So Badiashiel to come in, very happy about that too, because I think he deserves it. And I think Maresca does actually quite like Badiashiel because he does mention him quite a bit in conferences in terms of somebody that's impressing behind the scenes but can't get in the team, and very much so because Colwell is just that good. But it's good. I'm happy with Badiashile lately, for sure. Da Vinci agreed about Badiashile. KDH is mid, to be honest. Don't get me wrong. I think he is an average footballer. I think he's got attributes. I think he's a bit of an all-rounder. I think he's a bit of a jack of all trades. I think he brings things to the table, and I don't mind him playing in these games because I do think he's of the caliber. Do I think he's an absolute game changer for us? No. But do I think he can keep things ticking? And do I think he's had a few okay games for Chelsea and a few poor ones? Yes. So I have no issue with him playing today. And mid's fair because, like I say, I don't think he blows anybody away. But yeah. Do you think it's important for someone to overlap with Sancho? Is Madueke a better choice? I think, especially if KDH is in this gap, I think it's okay because, and even if it's like Gusto, for example, right, that Sancho's got enough support there for underlapping runs, also to isolate and go on his right foot on the outside. But then also, if KDH or whoever makes those sort of runs outside of him, Sancho can then drive infield and create like that. So no, I think he'll be okay, especially for this game. And like I say, you will have those options off the bench. Mudrik's going to be your more direct side. This is going to be your more build-up transition side, especially if you have Enzo and Sancho like this, sort of making things tick on this side of the pitch. You've got a bit more of a direct side with Mudryk here, and then Felix can sort of float and do his thing. So that's sort of what I'm expecting if this is the lineup, but we'll have to see if that is the case. Problems that Cole and Tosin are only good at central centre-back, which hinders rotation. I disagree about Cole. I think he's still brilliant as a left centre-back, but I think he's better as a central centre-back. Tosin, I do much prefer him as a central centre back. I agree, but Badiashiel's been good in the central centre back as well. So Tosin could be playing right centre back. Like I say, the fullbacks are going to be interesting today. That's sort of the main thing I'm looking for when I look at that first lineup. the first two places I'm looking. I feel like we know Enzo's probably going to start. We know Felix is going to start. We know Nkunku's going to start. I would predict KDH is very likely to start. Even the centre backs, Tosin and Badiashile, quite confident. Jorgensen. I think the ones that I'm looking at is I'm first looking at who's the fullbacks, and then I'm secondly looking at who are the wingers. And even then, I think the wingers are fairly likely, but the fullbacks will be interesting because I would not be surprised if Gusto starts, put it that way. Just going to quickly check the likes before we get through the rest of these comments. Keep them coming in. We're at 17 likes. We've got 45 people watching on YouTube. So if everybody on YouTube really quickly smashes the like button, that would be brilliant because then we can get closer to that 50. The goal that we set for 50 likes. We're going to try and hit 50 likes on every single live stream that we do from now on. 100 likes is the aim on every video that I do from now on as we try to continue to build this channel and really just grind away at that. So that would be brilliant if you could all just drop a like. And we've also got like 200 odd people watching through Twitter. So if you could just hop over to the YouTube as well, that would be brilliant. That would be brilliant. Where are we? For me, if Sancho's on the right, ideally we have Gusto to invert as he provides those link-up opportunities. If not, Felix needs to be on the right near him. Yeah, like I just sort of said with KDH, I think that's okay if it's him. And I think if it's Gusto, then yeah, you're right. So it does depend. And that's a big part of how Sancho plays. But we will see today how it sort of sets up. And somebody's just put in the chat as well. Oh, hang on. I'll go through these first ones. Did Disasi really regress or not favour due to age? So he was decent last season and not as rash as Fofana. It's just profiles, right? Fofana being rash and aggressive is quite good to complement Colwill, and that is what Maresca wants. The same with Cucurella. He's got that aggression, and you've got a little bit of cover with Colwill in the defensive line. But Colwill's actually been very good with his aggression this season as well. Very sort of tapered in. I don't think that's the right word. Tailored in how he's sort of using that aggression. But Disasi, it's just for me, he's a better box defender, and I think with Poch last season where we had to do a lot more box defending because it was so basketball end to end, he did look better defending the box and he'd make some big blocks, and I do quite like his personality, his leadership in that sense. But I do think it's more so just the overall, he's not really quite the type of player for this system. And I said that at the start of the season too. Nothing against him. Like I said, I quite like him as a leader. But and he could definitely play at right back today. I would not be surprised if Vega doesn't play at all. Disasi plays here, Cucurella plays there. That wouldn't surprise, or even Cucurella plays further forward, Felix plays over here, KDH plays in here, like anything like that could happen. I'm gonna leave it like this now, which means if somebody joins in a minute, they're gonna be like, "What is this? This is awful." But we're gonna leave it like that anyway. What have you thought about Neto so far? I feel him and Madueke have the highest ceiling. I like them two as our wingers personally. I said that when Sancho first joined as well, and I'm a big fan of Sancho, but I think he's more sort of tailored for certain games. I think he's the sort of player. He's one of those players that you want in your toolkit, but he's not going to be used every single time. And I think that was a good explanation of it. A good example of it at the weekend, how we didn't use him for that exact thing, that exact reason, tactical reasons. But yeah, Neto so far, I think he's getting better with each game. So I'm happy with him. I don't think he's shown anywhere near his best qualities yet, but I think it's getting better slowly and surely. So yeah. We prefer, I would love Chukwuemeka to play, but I'm not even going to predict him because I don't think it's going to happen. But I'm a massive Chukwuemeka fan. Every team needs a decent squad player. I think it's good to have KDH. That's what he is at the end of the day. It's a squad player. What's wrong with Tosin as a wide centre back? Nothing's wrong with it. I just do prefer him as that central centre back. I think there is sort of I think he's just the calm to that area. I think he's better in that area of the pitch. I think he can sort of break lines both ways with his passing. I think we saw that when he came on against. Can't remember what game it was. It Bournemouth? No, it might have been Palace. There was a game he came on and he changed the game in terms of we were getting trapped really badly in build up because I think that was the game where Fofana was playing as the central centre back and it just wasn't working. Big up. You should make another channel to cover other teams as well for e.g. UCL games. See, that's where I'm thinking, Warrior. I want this channel. I don't want this channel to become just Chelsea, but the problem is I'll upload a video that isn't Chelsea and it just won't get the support that my Chelsea videos do. So then it does really poorly and that's going to affect sort of my algorithm. So I'm trying to do it, but in a clever manner. I feel like the way that I'm doing it at the minute, where I'm sort of using it as opposition analysis and I'm able to then analyse Liverpool like I did the other day or analyse Newcastle like I did last week. This week, we're going to have, like I said, tomorrow, we're going to have an Amorim video. And then Friday, we're going to have a Manchester United preview. Again, it's Chelsea related, so it's still getting clicks from my Chelsea sort of following, but it's getting the support it needs to sort of rank it up a little bit. But if you do want to continue to see more different teams, and I do think it's important to cover lots of different teams, because I think you can learn a lot about your own team, Chelsea being my own team as well. I think you can learn so much more about how each team is configured, and then you have a better understanding going into every game that you watch, because you understand how each different team plays and different little like aspects like that. So I really do want to crank out more content on different clubs, but for that to work, I need everybody to just keep smashing the like buttons on those videos, for that to work. Now we need to take this cup seriously, not for granted. And that's the thing, though. This isn't an unserious team. Like this, look how good that team is. That is a ridiculously good team, even without Palmer, Caicedo, Lavia, Madueke, Jackson, Neto, Colwell, vice versa, Gusto, James. Like this is a ridiculously good team. Do you know Mono CFC here on YouTube? Think collab between you guys would be great. I don't know who that is, no, but I'll have a look, because I do want to start doing. Is he another tactics guy then? Because I think somebody said that before. I also don't want to just make this solely tactics. That is, of course, that's my background, but I do want to do little sort of fun videos at some point with different people. Like I've already done a few with, say, Zach Jalab, and did one with Matisse. We've done some like reacting to hot takes, and they've done fairly well. So yeah, we're going to continue to keep trying different little bits like that as well. Newcastle posted Anthony Gordon. We could be cooked. Yeah, he's going to start. I would be shocked if he doesn't play, which is again sort of why I kind of don't want Disassi playing there. I'd rather that sort of be Cucurella and just have him on that right side to handle Gordon and just say a bit more defensive. But we'll see. We will see. You say that. I think his best game came at the weekend when he was on the left. So, and Madueke for me is undroppable at the minute in terms of what, it's not just what he offers going forward, it's what he offers on every aspect of the ball. So I would personally, I think Neto Madueke is the right way with Neto on the left at the minute. And yeah, Neto was electric against Newcastle. I agree, Mo has. I'm just saying, even add cash to sweeten the deal. Oh, this is to do with, where is this? If you do a swap deal for Real Madrid where we get Tchouaméni and they get Enzo, I wouldn't personally. Actually, that's tough because Tchouaméni's so good. But I'm still a massive Enzo person, so it's tough. It's tough. I'm going to say no purely because I like Enzo, and I think he's got so much more to his game to come that I don't think anyone's seen anywhere near the amount. But having said that, I also do think Lavia and Caicedo is working in a minute, and I wouldn't be changing that against Man U. But we'll get into that when we get into the preview against Man U, which is why I start Enzo today. Where are we? It's strange how Sancho's become someone good for low blocks when in Germany he excelled against high lines and being direct. In Germany, though, there's a lot of high lines. I think he just sort of became accustomed to being the playmaker against those high lines and playing it in behind rather than being the one who has to run in behind. And it's not that he's only good against low blocks. It's just I think he's a bit more of a Grealish type. I sort of see him as a retention winger rather than sort of these explosive maverick wingers that we have, which are already Madueke and Neto and even Mudryk. All three of them come more under that maverick type, as opposed to Sancho, who's far more on that sort of retention based. If Misha plays well today, do you think he should start against Man U? Probably not, just because Neto played well as well, but he should be on the bench. I'd have Madueke and Neto starting unless something ridiculous happens today. I reckon if you keep the videos going and then you do videos with Big 16s, you'll do well. Plus, if we get UCL next year, you might do very well. Yeah, that's the aim. That is the aim, Abdi. I'm going to, like I say, with the Big 6 teams, like you say, I'm going to be doing some Man U videos this week naturally because of Amorim and because Chelsea are playing them. And then I might start as well doing a little bit of sort of like if there's big game analysis to do. So say Arsenal play Liverpool, I could do like they did last week. I could do a video, like a breakdown explaining that game, which maybe that will do well if I can title it well and do things like that. So yeah, that's going to be the aim. So yeah, we'll try. We'll keep trying, but the support does go a long way. So Abdi, Warrior, everybody that's been saying it, please do just smash the like button every time a video is uploaded. Watch it, comment. If there's bits you don't like about the video, let me know, because then I can start to make changes for the content, and just every little bit helps. And we're up to 30 likes now, so 54 people are watching. Please, if we can get to 50, if every single person, there's even 4 of you don't have to like it, but you should. It should be, I should be able to see 54 likes. That should be the thing. 53 now, but either way, that should be the aim. We want to get to 50 likes by the end of the stream. Silly question, but if Esteval was here, how would you rank the wingers 1 to 5? Oof. Esteval's 17 though, so like it's in terms of talent, Esteval's 1, but I wouldn't want to chuck him straight in the deep end. I would want to be safe with it. So I'm gonna just say, in terms of minutes they should be getting, I would probably go. Because you got to think long term as well. Because like this season, I'd have Madueke 1, but next season it would probably be Neto number 1. So it's different. It will change as time goes on because roles will change and the importance of each player will change. Right now, if Esteval's with the squad and we're talking right this second, I would go Noni, Neto, Esteval, Sancho, Mudryk. And that's tough because I actually really like Mudryk as well. And I think he should be getting lots of minutes at the minute. So it's a tough question because all 5 of those wingers have parts of their game that we need. And if anything, that's why it's kind of good that Esteval's not here yet, because we've got 4 wingers who can be used sort of in rotation like this. And they're all these wingers, if we stay in these competitions, they're going to be close to 2,000 minutes or 1,500, 2,000 minutes, which is good. That's a decent amount of minutes for this season and to see what we need from them. So that's a good thing. Do you think Amorim will succeed in the long term for United? I really don't know, because the easy answer with that is no, because United is such a toxic environment right now. And I said I'm really shocked he's took that job, because I'm a massive Amorim person. I think he's brilliant. But I just don't. I think it's poor risk reward. I think it could go really south. It could plummet his reputation. I just think there's so much that can go wrong in that job and so little that can go right. To get the praise you deserve as a manager in that job, I think you literally have to turn the entire ship upside down and you literally have to put everything right. I just think it's too much to do. So I would hedge my bet. Like if I had to bet on it, I would say no, just because of the trends. But I do like Amorim, and I do succeed more from switching to a back 3 from rather than playing in a back 4. And in tomorrow's video, which of the Amorim setup at Man U, I would explain exactly why I think certain players in certain roles will do better than they have under Ten Hag under Amorim. So we'll speak about that. Big up, Connor. We're lucky to have you. Thank you, Warrior. I'm lucky to have everybody watching in the chat and everybody dropping likes, as I said, which I am very, very appreciative of. When were those videos with Matisse? The Matisse one was maybe 3 weeks ago during an international break. The Zachalab one was maybe 2 weeks ago. They're on my channel as like reacting to hot takes. So I think the Matisse one is episode 2. So I've done 3 of them so far. I did one on my own, the first one. The second reacting to hot takes was with Matisse, and the third one was with Zachalab. So yeah, they're on my channel if you want to go watch those. Madueke was what Hudson-Odoi was supposed to be. I think Hudson-Odoi is more like Sancho. Again, he's a bit more intricate with Madueke is such a maverick. He will just 1v1 direct at all times. Hudson-Odoi is a bit more intricate passing quality. He'll slow it down, then he'll make these sort of really clever passes like Sancho does. He's a bit quicker than Sancho, but he looks to slow play down. He can play these little passes here. He can go both ways. Little outswingers, in swingers into the box with crossing. I think his best attribute is actually his passing, Hudson-Odoi, and that creative crossing ability. No need for sure many. Andres Santos is the real deal. I'm going to be doing a video on him at some point. I'm going to leave it a little bit because I don't want the hype to be at the absolute peak when I do it, so that everybody starts jumping on. But I do want to do quite a big deep dive into Andres Santos, because for me, he has to be in the squad next year. And yeah, the Demon Nat is also saying, yeah, brings in Santos because he is absolute class. I think we need more goal scorers from our wingers, because at the minute it's Jackson and Kunku. I'd like the midfielders chipping as well. Yeah, I think Madueke is turning into a bit of a goal-scoring winger. Like maybe not at the exact rate that we need, but he's popping up some good goals. I think Mudryk has the potential to be that from that left side if he can start adding that sort of more direct running to his game, arriving at that back post, getting in and around the box to actually unleash what I say is a very good one of his better attributes for me is his ball striking, Mudryk. But often he's coming in off this sort of wing and then he'll just blaze one over here, and that's not good for his confidence. It's not good for just his willingness to try it again. And yeah, it's tough because I do really rate his actual ball striking ability. It's just the consistency of which he can replicate it on the pitch. If Santos was at loan at any other club, we could record him, because it's Strasbourg, they might be pissed. I don't think it's worth recalling him. As much as I rate him, I don't think we need him that badly this season. Like, it would have been nice to have an extra, but that maybe could have been Ugochukwu. But next season he has to be part of the squad. Andre Santos is a class player. Enzo will need to step up. Yeah, Enzo, he has levels to go, so I'm not worried about that either. Cho had Saka levels of potential. Oh, the injury ruined him, man. Yeah, missed Cho, no cap. He had so much potential. Facts. He was so good. Have you been taking notice of how good Andre Santos has been, and how do you think he'll fit in as well with us next year? Yes, I have. I've been watching pretty much every Strasbourg game, and I will leave it for the video to see how he'll fit in. But I will echo what I just said. He should be in the squad. We need goals from our. Yeah, you said. Yeah, I answered that one with Palmer. Also, midfield. Yeah, I agree to an extent. Tchouaméni suits EPL more than Enzo Amo. He possibly yes, because of sort of build and pace of the game, but also Enzo's he's slightly better suited to that like Cruz role that Real Madrid have. So I do think it would suit him more there. But I do think he can still be fine in this team if he can get more reps in this role. And I think if anything, he's been coming onto the pitch with a bit more bite lately, which I quite like. So almost like a bit of something to prove. And Lavia and Casado have been brilliant together as well. So I wouldn't be looking around for midfielders. Do you think one of the wingers will leave to make room for Esteval? Maybe not instantly. My biggest worry, and it's not a worry if Esteval just takes off in the way that we expect him to, but I think Noni's the most at risk, and I'm a big Noni fan, so we'll see. We'll see how that sort of develops, but hopefully it won't happen too soon. Doesn't fit the United squad. Who doesn't fit the United squad? Who doesn't fit the United squad? Can't think who. Sancho, maybe? You could have been talking about Chelsea there, Lol. I don't know what I said, to be fair. Is that the Manchester United job, BMO? Long-term replacement for Cho, yeah. Meant to be Hazard's replacement. Like Madueke right now. But right now he's in a spot where even though he gets played beyond his fullback more often than anyone, he just breaks attack momentum more than anyone, I think. And showing a healthier, or Mudryk showing a healthier balance. No, I think Madueke has been really good, but we'll see. When he was left, oh, okay, you're talking about Cho. Thoughts on Patrick Dorgu? And if we do get him, what will happen to Vega? Nothing would happen to Vega because he can just fit in so many positions. I don't think we need Dorgu with the way that we play, but I do rate him extremely highly. So if we did get him, I'd be gassed because I think you can play him as an overlapping fullback. You can put him in this spot. He technically could play in this spot just because of how athletically good he is, but he'd be better used as sort of the overlapping wing back or fullback. So it would change a little bit, but he's a different profile. So he's a top player, so would not be at all be upset about it. Hudson-Odoi was supposed to be all wingers combined, and that's a fact. He could have had literally everything of all of our wingers. You're right in terms of that potential level. With the Enzo and Real Madrid rumours, I wonder who the next big player to leave Chelsea will be. All these players are important in my opinion, so hopefully no one soon. I agree with that. Yeah, Enzo would thrive at Real Madrid. That is, in my opinion, that's an absolute given. But I do hope he stays. Obviously. How's it going, bro? What's up, Money Mikes? Well, we're getting a lot of text through the chat right now. So as I continue to read through, I'm just going to quickly reload the stream, see how many likes we're on. 40, no, my bad, 39 likes now. Can we get 11 more to get it to 50? I'm going to hit a refresh in 5 minutes. Hopefully see that on 50 likes because we're on 39 at the minute. We've been going for 35 minutes. So hopefully we can get to 50. Oh, actually, that's a good point. When's the lineup out? That'll be the lineup out yet? Be very soon, won't it? Need to try and keep an eye on it. Can somebody tell me if the lineup does come out? We can sort of, yeah. We have also Paez and Esteban and Andre Santos coming. Yeah, the talent in that we've got coming through. Anselmino is another one. We've got so much talent, so much talent. Connor, do you think we should let Jackson develop or bring? I've said it before. Gyökeres is unbelievable, and if anything, I actually think this price for Gyökeres is a good deal. Whereas in the past, I was saying 90 to 100 wasn't worth it because we already have someone like him in Jackson. I still believe Jackson is that profile of Gyökeres, and I don't think you need both of them. So as much as, again, it's one of those ones where I love Gyökeres. I said how good he was at Coventry before he even made the move to Sporting. But I think now that you've got Jackson and he's developing on a good trend, I think you go for somebody different rather than a Gyökeres. That's my feeling of it. Do you understand Maresca's fascination with Sanchez? I've been having this conversation today with a few people. I don't think he's anything special, Sanchez, at all. But for me, it all comes down to Maresca wants a confident goalkeeper who's not going to compromise the idea, even if it goes wrong 5 times a game. If Sanchez is in between, right in goal, yeah, and he plays this pass and he misses it, and then he plays a long ball and it goes out of play, and then he nearly gets dispossessed here. All three of those mistakes in 45 minutes, he will still try the next time he gets the ball to play the exact passes that Maresca wants him to play. And that is the exact reason, I think, right now, because of the options he has, that he is picked and why Maresca likes him enough to be persisting with him despite mistakes, because he wants that confidence to not compromise how Chelsea play. Do I think eventually it will either bite us in the arse or Chelsea will need to make a change and they'll need to go back into the market? Yes, very, very likely. But the only thing to mention is Penders is also another one that they rate extremely highly. So if they feel like they can get through this with Sanchez, whilst Jorgensen and Penders are sort of through this season at least developing, and then maybe next season there's a change, we'll see. I think that is their overall plan, but we do need to just see how it sort of unfolds. That's how it is. Mudryk can strike a ball, but he needs to improve his shot selections. Yeah, I think his decision making's got slightly better, but his shot selection, I do kind of agree with that. Yeah, how's Leslie doing on Sunday at Southampton? Unfortunately, not as good as I'd hoped. I do still think playing in a system, whether he's always playing or training, I think Russell Martin is a good coach for him to be learning from, because I think the deficiencies in his game aren't off the ball. So I think being in a highly possession motivated team, I think with more touches and more sort of influence in these deeper build up phases, I think that's better for his development. But it's not been as good as I'd hoped in terms of minutes. Jackson is our long term number 9. Yeah, I hope so. I hope he's at least one of two. Con, we all know Enzo is the one that will be in trouble when Santos comes in. Yeah, and I think he will, but not in trouble. I just think that if you say, for me, the 4 deep players should be Lavia, Caicedo, Enzo, Santos. And I think that should be your 4. And I think that's a good enough set of pivot players to then make your decisions and it to then become based on form and who's playing well at the time. Okay, you're talking about Amorim. If Amorim comes in, we can offload Chilwell, offering him to United. Possibly, but I think there's a lot of better options out there for them, especially on the wages. So we'd have to wait and see. What is Santos' main position? Because I'm confused. For me, he's a holding mid. He's a DM who can sort of play a little bit like Caicedo and Enzo in the deeper pivot role. He can play a little bit higher as a box to box, but yeah, 9 minutes the lineup's come out, so yeah, it'll be at half past. Yeah, hour and 15 before. Of course it is. Including the boys online, what's your top 5 players in this squad? Oof. I'm not gonna do. Oh, I'm not going to go with it. I'm assuming you mean by online. I'm assuming you mean like Esteban players. I'm not going to do that because even then, I think it'd be just unfair to rate them at that because they're talents, but right now they're not a top 5 level. I would go Colwell. Well, Palmer, Colwell. This isn't in order, but Palmer and Colwell are definites. And then honestly, I don't know. Possibly the other 3 midfielders really. Lavia, Caicedo, Enzo. But that's tough on someone like Reece James or Gusto, who could also be in there. So that's tough. That's tough. Tough question. Is the 90-minute requirement for the lineup only for the Prem? I thought it was just for the Prem. It's 75 minutes, but I thought it was just for the Prem, but maybe not because it definitely isn't with for the what do you call it? Conference League. That's still 60. Maresca likes Sanchez because the others are worse. Possibly a reason as well, but like I say, I think that's what separates, for example, Sanchez and Jorgensen, because Sanchez is confident, whereas the others may compromise that. With Dorgu, I'm not sure what that was. We did touch on Dorgu, but I'm not sure what that's sort of requiring to. If we want Gyökeres, we have to go after him in January. Like I say, I just don't see the point when you've already got Jackson. I just think it's a bit overkill, and then you're still not getting in a box dominator, which is what you actually lack in this squad more than anything. So again, against Newcastle, that's because it was more so the plan to go long. If Newcastle attach man for man in this sense, like this, then this is where the spaces are. Here, 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 here. And even Jackson when he was dropping into this space here. So the idea to go into these sort of areas long, that is the game plan. That's instructed. That's not sort of panicked. Well said from Bimo. He said, "Keep up the good work, Connor. Thank you." Is it Edom, something like that. We're gonna really quickly try and get through here. One of the main reasons we lost control against Newcastle was because we couldn't play at the back because of Sanchez. It's the team. This team will reach another level with a confident ball playing goalkeeper. I think we lost control more. I mean, if anything, right? And again, I sort of agree. Like Sanchez, he goes long, but this is part of Maresca's plan at times. But I think, if anything, the lack of control that we lost later in the game was actually Lavia and Casado going long when they didn't need to, which is weird to say. But I think that they were the ones that needed to calm it down a little bit. And Enzo coming on, you'd think that was again to help that. He did it for the first sort of 5-10 minutes. He still went a little bit too direct at times, but then it did slow down towards the end, and that did help. Paez, yes, I'll do a video on that soon. Hello, Dan Knight. My fear with left centre back is that we don't get someone in the level of Vardy or Calafiori because they've got. Ishe is definitely of that level. Dorgu, not that same type. Not of that level, like obviously Vardiol and Calafiori, but he's one that I'm watching closely, Ishe, Samuel Smith. And then the other one is Vega, who is like, so I think we're at a point now where we don't need to worry about that yet. Maybe in the future, if none of the players like Ishe or Vega develop to the level we want. But yeah, that's your top 5, is it, Idem? Good list, for sure. Give James and Cole Palmer a rest, so get them. Yeah, for sure. For sure, they need to be rested. Jackson top 5. I don't hate it at all. Best way to use Enzo would be to play him as a 6. Yeah, and have Gusto invert as a round. Yeah, and that's what I said last season as well, Warrior. So yeah, 100%. Reece or Gusto in this half space, so that Enzo can play deeper with Casado or Lavia or whoever. Love how Real Madrid just announced their lineup 3 hours before the game. Yeah. We need to add H. H? Who's that? Or am I tripping? If we get a striker in summer, what do you think will happen? Kunku. And Kunku's one that I feel like he could leave eventually, if I'm being honest, but we'll see. He die, Adam. Cool. Thoughts on Diamande? I love Diamande. Like, if there's some like hardcore like listeners in the chat here that have been on my channel for a while, they'll know how much I rate Diamande. He's right up there for me. If Fofana was to get another big injury, I would be going and slapping money on the table for Diamande because I rate him that highly. So yeah, that says it all. Do you think Palmer can win the Ballon d'Or? Maybe one day. He definitely got the ability. Maybe one day. Yeah, I agree. It's a bad move for Amorim at this stage of his career. The reputation is just poor. Like the reputation, it can be a reputation killer, and the risk reward is just terrible. There aren't many good goalkeepers. People say Diogo Costa, but he's got many bozo moments himself. Diogo Costa's good. I like the one I called in the summer before we signed Jorgensen, and now everybody's starting to really get on it. But I liked Chevalier from Lille. He's another one. He was up there for me. Yeah, there's a few. Yeah, Diogo. I prefer Chevalier from Lille. He's my guy for the goalkeeper position. Who do you think will be in charge for Man United, Amorim or Ruud van Nistelrooy? I think Van Nistelrooy on Sunday. Even if Amorim comes in, I think it will be heavily. Again, we're going to touch on this in tomorrow's video and Friday's video, but I think it will be heavily decided by Van Nistelrooy until next week, where Amorim has a little bit of time to work with the team. Lineups out, people said. I'll reply to this one when I come back from checking the lineup, and by come back I literally mean scooting over to Twitter so I can read it. Where is it then? Chelsea haven't sent it out, no? Chelsea haven't sent it out as far as I can see. Oh, it's not out. Okay, cool. So I'll reply to this one. So, is your knowledge of football from hobby, or you study it formally? So I did. So I've coached up till however long. I was coaching all the way through. Really, did sports performance analysis and sports coaching at uni. Did some sort of intern work and not intern, but placement work with some clubs to do analysis, like performance analysis for them, and be an analyst. So a few different clubs I've done work with like that. Then I've gone to the content creation side. So now I do sort of tactical writing, content creation on video format. I write scripts for some other tactics people, and purely so it overall the knowledge is of football is from studying it, but and from working within clubs. So yeah, overall that's the answer to that question. But then obviously by topping up the knowledge, that's just by consuming it as well. So it's a bit of both, but mainly study from a young age going into it. Let me refresh because I haven't actually refreshed it since I said I was going to. 42 likes we're on. Got 52 people watching, 42 likes. Let's get that at least 8 more. At least 8 more to hit 50. Go and smash the like, please. To find that 8 more really quickly. Something happening with Rudiger. Does anybody know? Just in a tweet. Something happened with Rudiger at Madrid. Apparently, Leicester have rotated quite a bit tonight against Man U. So yeah, I'm going to be watching that game after I've watched Chelsea tonight. He's injured. Yeah, I saw he's injured, but somebody was acting like he's fell out with the. Surely that's not correct then, no? I doubt it. So I've seen nothing to say that. Someone said oh, Mudryk picture, so Mudryk should be starting. Good. Mudryk should be starting. Sorry about that, Abdi. Paez, big fan of him. I think he's going to be one of these pocket players for me. As that number 8. So it'll be interesting to see sort of how much he's, because it depends on Palmer at the time, it depends on Estevan at the time, it depends on the rotations. There's going to be a lot of things that go into it. I think Paez next year, I think he could really benefit from going on loan somewhere like Strasbourg. So I'd prefer him to go out on loan to begin with. Yeah, and literally Ninja Gecko on cue, Paez to Strasbourg. I would like to see that. Does still rate Hincapié? Absolutely, massively. Yeah, but like I said, that's not like a position that I would be gunning for quite yet. When we've got Vega, we've got Cucurella still in the club. If they ended up moving on Cucurella at any point, then yes, I would be looking towards someone like Hincapié, Lacaba. There's some other names, but I'm forgetting them. Robert Renan is another one from Brazil. Nanasi and Paez. Yeah, imagine that. Both Paez and Estevan go on loan, in my opinion. Yeah, very good chance. Lacaba is very overrated, in my opinion. I like him. I think he's got a good profile. I don't think he's anywhere near the finished product yet, but I do like him. I think we should not get strikers from the Portugal and Serie A because they flop when they come to the Prem. Not always the case, but he definitely maybe more of a hit rate than others. Chelsea. I'm a Chelsea fan. Varna. You Newcastle? If you are Newcastle, I'll be intrigued to see what you think the prediction for the score will be tonight. And I will actually say, on that note, what does everybody else think the score is going to be tonight? Comment that now so we can get some score predictions going before we end the stream in probably 5 to 10 minutes. I'm going to go 2-1 Chelsea. And this is before what's in the lineup. So I'm going to probably end the stream in 5 minutes, actually, because then I need to go and get ready to. Oh, Felix has been tweeted as well, by the way, as a picture. So that probably means him and Misha are pretty much confirmed. But yeah, let me know. Chelsea 3-1. Newcastle. I'm assuming that means you're Newcastle. What do you think the score is going to be, Varna? As we got a Newcastle fan in the chat. Varna, if you want to drop a like as well as a Newcastle fan, that'd be much appreciated. We're 5 likes off of 50 from 45. I need 5 more. You think Chelsea win 1-1 or 1-1 on pens? 2-0 CFC for Ninja Gecko. Chelsea 4-2 for Varna. Big game. And then Moaz has gone bold with a 4-1. Is this confirmed? This isn't on screen, no. This is just sort of when we've been playing around. Chelsea B team scoring 4 goals again. I don't really like it being called the Chelsea B team because I do think it's not. I don't think it's as simple as that, but I do also understand like where that sort of is. Like at the minute, it does feel like it's Unit 1 and Unit 2. I think if Disassi starts, it's 3-1, but I have some faith in Jorgensen. Go 3-0 from Abdi, 3-2 Chelsea. So everybody thinks Chelsea are going to win. The safest, I guess, and the one that's maybe least optimistic is 1-1 from Daniel Knight, thinking that we'll win on pens. Everybody else thinks we'll win outright. Sorry, Varna. My bad, my bad. Try and slow it down a bit. I don't think I've ever heard that one before. Talk too fast. Hope we get a new goalkeeper in the summer. 2-1 Chelsea from Warrior. What did you think of the game at the weekend, Varna, if you're a Newcastle fan? Do you think it was a fair result for Chelsea to win, or did you feel like you played okay, or what was the deal? What did you think? What did you think? Trying to keep an eye to see on the Newcastle Newcastle lineup as well, if I can see it. Oh, you're a Chelsea fan. Oh, sorry. When you said any, I thought you meant my bad. I thought you meant he was a Newcastle fan. I'm so happy we got Maresca. So happy we got Maresca. You think 2-0 Chelsea against Man U? That would be good. That would be good. We're going to be, as I said, we're going to be previewing those games in the next 2 videos. Up the Chelsea, going to class now. No worries, Da Vinci. Up the Chelsea. Hopefully, you get to watch the game, or at least watch it over on repeat, if not. But yeah, we're going to be highlighting Amorim tomorrow. So make sure you come back to the channel tonight at around 11 in your sub boxes. There will be the things we learned from today's game. Oh, okay. That's why you said you talk too fast. Okay, I'm with you. I'm with you. Then what was I going to say? Yes, tomorrow, Amorim. Tonight at 11, things we learned from tonight's game. So that will be instantly. We'll come on live. Not live. We'll come on a video. I'll get the tactics board out. We'll speak about a few little things, a few performances, vice versa. Tomorrow we will go Amorim video. That's going to be out tomorrow. So hopefully you guys will show as much support on that as possible, because like I say, I do want those videos to do better, to sort of grow the channel out to not just Chelsea fans, to try and get Man United fans involved as well, and just not just Man U. I just want a whole football audience. I don't want it to be just one. And then Friday is the Manchester United versus Chelsea preview, which will be looking at how Chelsea can play through Man United's press. And in that video, we're going to look at how Van Nistelrooy set up tonight against Leicester. So I'm going to rewatch that game, see how they. Yeah, I know Palmer won't start. I know Palmer. Oh, here. He's on about Man U, Varna. Daniel means a bit against Man U. What was I saying? We're going to watch Man U v Leicester. I'm going to rewatch that game and then see how Van Nistelrooy set up his out of possession, just so we get a vague idea of what we might see on Sunday. So that'll be a good video as well, hopefully. Why were so many Leicester fans say, I don't know, King. I don't know. Saying he doesn't change tactics in his players. And I said it. If you go back and watch my video on Maresca on this channel, before he even joined Chelsea, I said that Leicester fans are either salty that he's left or leaving and saying it, or they can't see it, because he clearly was tampering with tactics all season at Leicester last year. It's just intricate little tweaks rather than a massive formation tear up, which is unfortunately how some casual fans look at the game. And it's not unfortunate, because if that's how they want to view it, that's how they want to view it. But just because you don't see a tactical change doesn't mean there isn't any. And I tried to say that when people were saying how stubborn he was and how the issues are that he's going to be so stubborn. What is a Leicester? What is a Leicester? How about we ask Enzo Maresca? Oh, as in Leicester from the Premier League, Leicester City. No worries. No worries, Varna. Gonna refresh, see what we're on. We've got 4 minutes to the lineup. We're on 49 likes. I'm gonna refresh one more time. Can we get that last 50th like before we end the stream? And then I'm gonna quickly go off and sort out what this team's going to look like, as we've got 370 people watching over both platforms, so that is brilliant. Can we get the 50th like? Who's going to be the one? Who's going to be the one to get us to the 50th like? I'm going to keep refreshing. It is. Somebody got it. Somebody got it. Thank you very much. We're on 50. On that note, we're going to cut the stream there because I'm going to go eat some dinner and tweet out about the lineup in about 3 minutes. 50 likes in. Let's go. Pepe Sylvia. I'm not sure if you were the 50th like, but let's go. On the way out now, if you could drop a like as well if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys tonight at about 11 o'clock with my video describing today's game, talking about the tactics, talking about the players, talking about all those things. And then there's a few more videos coming throughout the rest of the week. So stay tuned for them. Thank you for watching. Thanks, Ninja Gecko. Thanks, everybody. And I'll see you guys next time. No, Varna, I don't.